I don't want to put up a video. I really don't. But I put up a video. So we're going in solo. And we're playing some Stevie Boy. What we're running... I got an altruism off. The only altruism offerings I really have are the 75% ones. I don't have the 50s. And I'm bringing in a decent med kit. This is a burner one, though. I'm just adding extra charges. So I'm going in with a 40 charge med kit. And I'm hoping that I can use the med kit. Not necessarily on myself, but on somebody else. So what we're running is we've got self-care. So we can heal ourselves without a med kit, and it increases the healing item self-heal efficiency by 15%. We got balance landing, so that if we fall from a second story or higher, we will sprint for 150 seconds, 150% for 3 seconds, and it causes exhausted for 60 seconds, and it reduces the stagger duration by 75%. Camaraderie. So that while we are in the struggle phase on Hook, if another survivor comes within 16 meters of me, the perk will activate and the Hook's timer gets paused for 34 seconds. And then for the filler perk for today, we're running Adrenaline so that when the exit gate is powered, I will instantly heal for 1 health state and sprint at 150% normal speed for 5 seconds when the exit gates are powered. And this will ignore any exhaustion effects that are already in place if I use my balance landing and replace it with a 40-second cooldown. I find the best way to make a build, I'll take this time while I'm doing this, is to have 3 core perks that you can run and 1 filler slot that you can switch out, or at least to have 2 core perks. We're going into a game. And that last perk slot gives you variation. Or at least to have, you know, that's why I like to call builds. When I say you have a build for a character. I mean, some characters you don't necessarily have that with. So we've got a 3, a 4, and a 20. What the fuck are these levels? And we have 2 Nancys. One of them's a level 1, one of them's a level 50. So we have no idea what Nancy we're gonna get. I'll be able to tell by the med kit. But if the killer has Franklin's, I'm fucked. Come on. Oh, that's not good. It's Bloody Party Streamer. That's not good. I am queuing solo here. Which... I'm queuing solo because I shipped out an invite to somebody, and if they join, then we'll group up. But if they don't, then I'll play another match as Steve. And I'll show you what I mean. Because you want to have some build variation. A lot of people think that's, oh, I need to have a lot of high-level perks. Good survivors don't necessarily need a perk to be high-level to make it work, depending on the perk. You know, I would say an example is, you know, something like self-care is good at tier 1, 2, or 3. It doesn't matter. Whereas something like Decisive isn't very good at tier 1 or tier 2, but tier 3 makes it playable. What are you doing to my bed? My dog is just taking over the joint, if you can see. Let's see, wave hi to the camera, buddy. Alright. So we got Rancid Abattoir. This is a good map for me. I like it. It's a little bit smaller, but everything's pretty good. I probably should have taken a stroll to see what's around here. But fuck it, let's just jump on the gen. So we know there's a ruin. A lot of people also don't understand how to properly pulse ruin. You don't gen tap the other way, just go like this and try and time it. Hag, isn't it? That's a hag. Thanatophobia. I don't want to use the Killer Shack loop right off the bat. knew I had enough time to make the pallet. Like, oh, I found the ruin. I'm gonna go down here. I'm trying to let them know. That's why I'm doing this. I'm trying to let them know that the ruin is there. It's near me. If I go unhooked next to it, it's gonna be a problem. It's good to know where the ruin is early on, though. I'm gonna get trapped into oblivion. We'll see what happens. No, she's not trapping. She's trapping. I'll let her know where the ruin is. Oh, he got that gen done good. I'm letting her know where the ruin is. Just so that she can pop it while I focus on healing up. Gonna immediately go pick him up. She's going for the hill? She's going for the hill. Okay. Take the hit, I can take a hit. I kind of want her on me so I can burn the balanced landing and get over here. Because I needed to get him on me. Alright, so with 3 people injured, the Natchphobia is gonna be killer. Okay. Yeah, they got grabbed. That's not good. That's the rank 1. They got grabbed. That's Mr. McLovin. Not a lot I can do in that situation. So the game's not as slow now. She's trapped on the hill. Oh, no. Oh, borrow time. Okay. The Natchphobia kind of hurts the adrenaline strategy, where you want to... Is she gonna go down to the borrowed time meter? She is, isn't she? Yeah, she did. Wow. That was stupid. Get her up. She really is a rank 1. Kind of want to space your gens out. One person injured, since the Natchphobia is still there. The thing a lot of people don't realize with Ruin, I see a lot of people, they go like this. That's not the optimal way to do it. Just hold it. If you regress the gen by hitting the good skill check, just stop. So I'll show you what I mean in a second. So we're gonna pretend the next skill check is a Ruin skill check, right? That's all you gotta do. Just stop right there, wait for it to stop sparking, and then get on it. She missed. I have a gen at 50. I want to trigger this trap to get it out of the way. Oh, it's already been triggered. Take that. I have balanced landing, so I can use the hill right here. I knew she was gonna miss, so she likes to lunge at everything. So I can use it to come back over here. I've got the pallet over here that isn't broken. I know I can use that because I'm going to force her to break it. I didn't want to fast vault the window, which is why I did that. And with the balance, I know I can burn that and be fine. I also know 3 totem locations. Yeah, she might have nurses. Oh, I'm not making the pallet. Ah! Nope, no 360. Now be the time to pop that gen. Nope. Okay. I have adrenaline, so if I do get pulled off hook, I'll be full health. You hear that little tapping noise? That's me preemptively tapping X to struggle. Okay, so I have adrenaline. Once I get pulled off hook. She's gonna go down here, but I have the camaraderie, so they don't have to worry too much about me, especially because they activated it early. So I get a lot of struggle points here. I don't know what you think the plan is. I have borrowed time and adrenaline, and I can get on this gate. She didn't trap it yet. But then she's gonna have no ad. No ad, okay. Alright, I bought them time to get out. Or to get the hook off. Oh, I shouldn't have slow vaulted that, but I've still got the pallet here I can make up with. I knew she was going to teleport to that, that's why I wanted to do that. I found the hatch. If anybody has a key, now's the chance. Oh, okay. She has nurses. I'm dead here. I could have played that a lot safer, but... Oh, somebody's trying. Oh, I'll be able to wiggle off. I'll be able to wiggle off, nice. Yeah. Recovered from that quite well. I didn't think I was going to make it out there. She made the mistake of dropping me. Even if she picked me back up, I would have been able to wiggle off. So, good amount of blood points. My altruism isn't what I wanted. I didn't pip up yet. Oh, no, I did pip up. I had iridescent. Okay. Gold evader, gold unbroken, silver unleavened. I didn't really do a lot for objective. That's the downside. It was a rank 8. Now a rank 9. DS, spine shell, balance landing, decisive. That's fairly standard. Bar time, decisive. We're gonna look for a balance landing. Yeah, fairly standard. No one runs self-care other than somebody like me. They had gens, I didn't. Mr. McLovin wasn't that bad for a rank 19, but just needs some better position. She had thanatophobia, nurses, barbecue root. Okay, so standard build. Bloody party streamer. She had a... a fairly standard thing, the setting speed and the trap range, but I wouldn't say it's like anything overpowering. Kungpa, stop chewing. So I'll show you what I mean by having what I like to call I call making a flex build, where you're not really focused on one thing. You know, and Paladins is a game where I would focus down more, like, okay, this is a specific build for a specific situation. I don't really have that on Dead by Daylight. I believe in being flexible. So, well, let's look at Nia right here. What I run is I have self-care and I have balanced landing that are my 1-2 on her. Self-care is my crutch perk, and balanced landing is my perk of choice. Although I could swap out any of hers. And the other two are variables. I'll show you what I mean in the next one. So, when we look at a character like Ace, you have, for me, I have Ace in the hole, and I have self-care, which are my primaries, and then the other two are other perks like switch out. So I have the one character specific, and I have the other perk right there that I can switch out. For the Bloodweb here, I'd prefer the Alex's Toolbox over the leader. I mean, over the Oddball, but I want the leader. I don't know why, I just sort of do. And I don't have enough for this Bloodweb, so we're gonna go to the next Bloodweb to see if we can spend the 3,000. No, go left right. I should be able to spend 3,000 somewhere. I want the distortion, so I'll take the camping aid, because that's 3,000. But again, if you look at what I run on her, so the build, this is my standard build that I have for Feng Man. If you look at build, this is what I'm running. These two spots right here are situational. We're on the borrowed time and the self-care. And you see how I usually have, like, a few slots that are like, okay, this is what I run. And then the rest is up for grabs. I usually have one slot that's an exhaustion and one that's something else. So, we went medkit last time. Let's go for a toolbox this time. I have some brand new parts. So, I'm gonna bring what I call the, I call this the anti-ruin toolbox, where it's just a brown toolbox, the other add-on doesn't matter, but just bring in the brand new part so that we can get it done faster. The Dark Sense might be helpful just to know where she is. The Spine Chill's another thing I could potentially run. Detective's Hunch. See, it's in reverse. So I have one altruism, but I have 6 altruism in that, and then I have 1 objective, but then I have 7 in this. So I'll put the brown one on just to get me some more blood points. I'll take the adrenaline off, and I'll put the Spine Chill on. A lot of people don't understand how Spine Chill works, so it just, when the killer is looking in your direction, is when it goes off. You don't have to, like, spin your camera around or anything to, like, look for the killer yourself. It is when the killer is looking in your direction. Now, maybe I'd be better off with Dark Sense if I'm trying to go for a gen completion build. But I think the Spine Chill is better just because it does give you that little repair speed bonus. I mean, you could benefit from Stakeout as well. If you want to be really anti-ruin, you could go Stakeout or Diversion. I'm a fan of Diversion. Big fan of that, but I don't know. I just don't feel like running it. If I wanted to really be evil, I'd put on Streetwise instead. But I don't see the point in doing that. And like this time right here, people are like, oh, people always edit this time out. This is a good time for you as a content creator that's like trying to explain like your motivations and your reasoning. This is a good time to be like sitting there looking like, okay, what do I do in a situation like this? Maybe Unbreakable, but I don't think that's gonna help too much. Up the Ante's not a good perk, by the way. I don't know why people think it is a good perk, but it's not. Alert could be good to know when they kick a gen. I think the trade-off for me between Alert and Dark Sense is that Dark Sense gives you better information because the killer aura is revealed every time a gen is complete for 5 seconds versus every time the killer breaks a pallet or a gen, I get to see them for 4 seconds. I don't know. I'm tempted here. I'm tempted. I'm honestly tempted. I'm flipping back and forth between Dark Sense and Spine Show. Oh, Dark Sense. I haven't put Spine Chill on in a bit. But I like Stakeout better. Personally, I like Stakeout better because it's the terror radius, and I tend to look at my HUD a lot. So that's why I like Diversion and Stakeout, because it's like I'm paying attention more to the HUD to see when it's starting to tick down. What? I'm glad to know it happens when I'm solo. The problem is I can't unready or anything. So it's every time you're within the killer's terror radius and not in a chase, you get a token. And the tokens cause good skill checks to be great skill checks. People think it's like, oh, if you can hit great skill checks, like, you don't need Stakeout. I mean, I hit great skill checks and I still like Stakeout. Because it rewards you for those few times where you're off by, like, a millimeter. And it's like, oh, I missed. And it's there to be like, that's okay, you didn't fuck up completely. But Diversion's fun because of the pebble, because you can use it as a taunt, and you can use it to mess with the killer. And people are like, oh, well, the diversion isn't really that effective. Yeah, it kind of is. See, Babysitter's a perk that I would like to have leveled up more. But I can't get it in my blood whips. And it's aggravating. People are like, why do you run Camaraderie of his 3? Because people are like, that's his weakest perk. To be honest, Camaraderie is not as bad as people think. It's good for team play because it's like, okay, I know that I can effectively buy time in struggle phase, and it helps me farm some blood points. Second Wind, I think, requires a hefty activation cost, because it's not like, you know, hey, I've got Botany, hey, I've got a med kit. Like, even hitting a great skill check can hurt you with Second Wind, because it's harder to heal another survivor than it is to unhook another survivor, like with Deliverance. Because with Deliverance, I'm just unhooking them. It's something that has to be done. With healing another survivor, you've got to realize that it takes 2 people out of the action. Like, if you view, like, keeping the killer busy and working on gens as the action, then this is another thing, because you're taking 2 people out of the action to heal up. You've got to, you can't really speed up the progress. Even hitting a great skill check is not going to help you with the Second Wind. And yes, the benefit is relatively strong, but again, if the killer's tunneling you, it also doesn't help. I like Babysitter. I like the concept of being a poor man's borrowed time. But I can't really see the potential of it too much, because I don't have it at tier 3 to like, oh wow, this is pretty game changer. Not to mention the people I unhook usually run straight to the killer anyways, and I'm like, just facepalm. Like, what was the point of all that? I think the one downside to Babysitter is it gets pretty heavily countered out by Make Your Choice. I think Make Your Choice is a perk that very strongly counters this out. Because you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I now see the survivor that I can go after with Make Your Choice. I know where they are. I think that's an interesting dilemma. And if you look at Nancy's perks with Better Together, where I don't like Better Together because it gets countered out a lot by Discordiance, and I think it's a very easy way to let the killer know what gen to kick in the event that the survivors are idiots. So you get a lot of survivors that, if they're in a chase, they'll see Better Together go off, and they'll be like, oh hey, there's a survivor on that gen, I can go chase them. I can go there. That's one of the reasons why I hate Empathy. Underrated perk, Distortion. Definitely, I think Distortion's underrated. People look at it and say it's bad because it only works if killer runs aura reveals like Nurses and Barbecue. And people say it's bad because it's a token perk where you start with the 3 tokens and as the aura gets revealed it goes down little by little. I think there's a lot of importance that people don't really recognize, is that some of the more powerful killer perks like Barbecue, Nurses, Bitter Murmur, they get cut out by that. And it's pretty significant. People are like, well, it doesn't work against, like, non-aura reveal type stuff, but, I mean, the fact of the matter is, you can tell what perks a killer is running based off of, a distortion token went off, so something's wrong. I had a game with a Wraith that ran the purple add-on where, while they were cloaked, they could see survivors' auras within 12 meters. And I couldn't figure out where I was losing these distortion tokens, and I thought maybe it's I'm all ears. So I fast vaulted, and nothing happened, and I'm like, oh. And then the killer went into cloak, and I was right behind him, like, oh shit, he has that add-on. Because it clicked in my head, hey, he's got one of those. Wraith's got an Amanda's letter. That's what I call it, basically. The Wraith has an Amanda's letter, and Amanda has the Amanda's letter. And I'm like, hey, he's got the add-on. He's got the add-on. People don't really realize that. I mean, it's more than just, it's also the knowledge. It's not just the aura reveal. I think Calm Spirit's underrated. The fact that you don't set off the birds is good because a lot of high-level killers use the sound notification of the birds or the visual of them flying away to say, hey, somebody's been over there. I don't have that with Calm Spirit. I like Calm Spirit because you don't scream. So, Infectious Fright gets countered out. The Doctor and the Clown kind of get countered out unless they have the aura reveal add-ons to the shock and the bottle, but and I think Calm Spirit's underrated. Well, I would say it's an overrated perk, maybe. Definitely Premonition. I hate Premonition with a passion. I hate this perk. Basically, so the way this works is when you're looking in the direction of the killer, you're within 36 meters of the killer, and you're looking at them in a 45-degree cone, you get a noise notification, and then it goes on cooldown for 60, 45, or 30 seconds. And people are, oh yeah, it's good. And it's like, well, it trumps all of the killer stealth abilities. Not really. It doesn't work against the Scratched Mirror Myers. And it doesn't work against, I should say tier 1 Myers, but you get what I mean. And it doesn't work against the Spirit if she's in Yamoka. So for example, if the Spirit's on the other side of the map, right? Let's say, because my left hand, is off screen. In the corner. So let's say that's where she starts Yamokas. And the survivor's right here. So the screen represents where Premonition is. So she starts Yamokaing off screen, and all of a sudden, this is her in Yamoka. if it activated to let them know I'm on the way. That'd be nice. But instead, it doesn't. So where it says it trumps any of the killer's stealth abilities, basically they're talking about people that can hide terror radiuses. They're talking about, you know, a Demogorgon coming out of the portals. They're talking about a Wraith and Cloak. They're talking about the Pig and Crouch Walk. I mean, realistically, that's what you're looking at, is that few situations. Maybe, and Ghostface when he's in the power. That's what you're looking at right there, is those few killers. And I can't get a game. I think it's glitched. Yeah, it's glitched. I hate when this happens. I've never had this happen to me solo. So, I've got to cut it.